little bit. And I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to come back to it. So I would like to talk about Kendrick, the Super Bowl, Kendrick as a figure in general, in music and in America, in politics, etc. And I figured, why not make this a group activity? So, give it a couple minutes just for people to pile in here. Hopefully. But I'll set the tone by starting to say that I'm a very big Kendrick Lamar fan. Been so since before Good Kid, Mad City, before he hit mainstream consciousness. I used to look for his songs on Pigeons and Planes. Shout out to Pigeons and Planes. Way back when. Way back when, way back when. I don't know how musical this stream will be. But I figured I'd, play along in the meantime. Yeah, but I'd like to get into that topic, and I very much welcome folks in the chat to interact in this conversation. Please interject. I'm just going to share my thoughts, my ideas about Kendrick as he exists. Again, both as an individual, but in the larger context of America, where we are socially, politically, All right, so as I said, I'm a huge Kendrick fan, been so very, very long time at this point. I don't know how many years, but I guess he's been out a minute. I am a huge fan of To Pimp a Butterfly. That still, I think to me, all in all of his records are excellent. Damn is actually my least favorite. I know that's the one that's a lot of other people's favorite, but that's my least favorite. But he's put out so many amazing projects, and still, to me, for my taste and my interest, To Pimp a Butterfly is the project that speaks to my heart the most. Good Kid, Mad City also, just like as an entire film, as one piece, is so powerful, and it really strikes a chord for me. But love Mr. Morale. Love the Untitled record, Black Panther soundtrack. He's done so much stuff, right? And I think now we're looking at this context of Kendrick, I guess. Yo, what's good, Ken? Good to see you. It's been a minute. This context of, okay, I think we all can pretty much agree that the halftime show was historic. It has significance regardless, right, of impact. Or I guess I'm saying that it has impact regardless. Also, I think I saw some homies. I'll be chatting with the homies while I'm doing this. What's good, Lucas? Good to meet your acquaintance. So, yeah, here's what I want to get into. Because I actually just saw a really, really good live stream video from the folks over at Wisecrack. Shout out to Wisecrack. And it made me really think about who is Kendrick now, because he said very clearly to us, I am not your savior, right? And it is still obviously in his interest to make political, artistic points, but I don't know that he's that interested in shaking the system that he is absolutely participating in and benefiting from, right? So, oh shit, I'm Unc now. I've been waiting to start getting called Unc. Woo! I've made it. I've elevated. All right, so, and I don't know. We'll see how interested people are in this discussion. I think there's a lot of people who would be, but who knows? Maybe they just want to see me go, See, someone's asking for Amelie. I don't know that one. My apologies. But look, here's what I guess I want to say. Not only talk about, and please chime in the chat like your thoughts on this. Let's talk about the good stuff. From my perspective, I think visually incredibly compelling. I think the iconography of using black men in the red, white, and the blue as the flag, really powerful. Could be, as is Kendrick's style, a double or triple entendre here. We're talking about America as a whole. We're talking about Republicans and Democrats. We're talking about Bloods and Crips. We're talking about the culture of war and profit. Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, killing, amazing choice, almost doing this tongue-in-cheek narrative about America and what America expects of someone like Kendrick. Mainstream America. So powerful, so meaningful. I think that's great. I think the overall narrative is great. I think the visual component was great. Kendrick has, over the years, gotten very, very good at that. And then musically, I have to tell you, I was a little underwhelmed. A little bit. I think he made some interesting song choices. Plenty of people have criticized the fact that he just decided not to really play any of the hits. He didn't go through the catalog. He didn't take this moment as a retrospective. He was more concerned, clearly, with talking about where he is now and where he's going versus giving us All Right or giving us Good Kid, Mad City or giving us whatever, swimming pools or anything else you could think of that are very much tied to Drake. Oh yeah, Ken, that's a very good point. I wasn't sure. I was pretty sure, but I wasn't sure that SZA was lip syncing, and I was like, okay. Like I was like listening to these runs. I'm like, nah, she not doing this right now. She just kind of dancing. I mean, come on. But we ain't even gonna talk about. I mean, we could talk about SZA, but I don't even need to talk about SZA. I'm not like. There's some SZA songs I like, but I'm not a huge SZA fan. Like, I'll say at the very least, she is not. I am not her target demographic. Like her, like toxic femininity. Like I'm gonna kill. Like I understand. I expand. I expand. I expand. Think about it, brother. Understand. Like those feelings and why that is compelling to people. Like her kind of just staying in this like ratchet frame of mind. People love that. People love that. Like there's no like there's no like reformative justice in SZA's music. It's all like, yo, fuck you and fuck you too and fuck you and I hate you, but we might have sex on the side, but I also hate you. You know what I mean? Like respect. That's how you that's your truth, and I respect that truth. Let me take a moment just to answer some of these questions in the chat. Now, I will say this. Yeah, I haven't been doing many of these conversational streams lately. I apologize for my absence. I got sick. I had like a stomach thing that took me out for like a week, and the winter has been kicking my ass a little bit. I still been doing Saturdays and sometimes Wednesdays, just the jam sessions and stuff. But sorry I haven't been around to like hang out and talk more. I'm coming back into it. I definitely am like back at the home, back in the stool, making some music, and I want to share that process with y'all as well as I said, conversate with you guys. So, I had my little trials and tribulations, but I'm back. We back. Also, let's say what's up to Kahana, the big homie Kahana, who be pulling through, pulling up. We appreciate you, Ken. Pulling up, pulling through. We appreciate you. All the new homies, we appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this kind of content and enjoy musical content in as well. Let's see. Riley says, yeah, I think personally it was like a little underwhelming of a performance, especially with the weekends a few years before-ish. Or even, honestly, Beyonce Bowl was fire. I'm not even the biggest Beyonce fan. Like, I have the utmost respect for Beyonce as a performer and, like elite level A-list capitalist. Like, she does the game and she does it well. Like, no hate. That was a great performance. She did everything that you expected Beyonce to do, and she always surprises you with something. Like, she killed that. But yeah, this performance was a little like, it was a little slow. It was a little, even like for me as a musician, listening to it, I was like, wow, they didn't really do a lot with the music. Usually in these halftime shows, you know, they rearrange the music and give you more of a live experience. You know, maybe you have the drummer going off. Even like, I think, you know, on the halftime show with Eminem and all of that, like Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop, like you have the live band going off, all the bells and whistles, and we didn't have like hardly any of that. The artistry was there, but not a lot of like the musical elements that make these shows pop, so to speak. And okay, you know what I mean? But personally, I would have enjoyed if, as well as all of these like visual artistic elements, the music didn't seem like it was forgotten on some level. Like, I will also say, because I have seen other Kendrick performances, I've never seen him live, but like I've watched performances. He's not necessarily like, I don't know who his musical director is, you know, to get nerdy about it, but he keeps it really sparse. He doesn't like go all out. Some people are gonna be like, I am a sinner, and probably gonna sin again. Lord forgive me, Lord forgive me. Like they're just gonna do everything. That's not really his style in general, but this was very low key to me, like very low key, musically speaking. But okay, he made choices. He picked songs that we all recognize. We all, no, actually, he played less songs we all recognize and instead chose to play things that are current, things that just came off of the last record. And someone also pointed out, maybe ultimately is promoting his stadium tour with SZA that's coming up. Like at the end of the day, that's what you should expect from this next tour. He had to get his Drake jabs in, or stabs, as it may be, you know what I mean? Like, I think, if anything, the two things I think he accomplished very well was sending an overall contextual message about, like, America, being black in America. Like, those who know. And those who don't, I think he did a really good job of keeping it kind of subtle. And so some people are just like, see, finally, a good clean performance. None of this BLM, none of this DEI, none of this wokeism in the show. See, just some nice music with the American flag. That's what we need. And they clearly just went over their head. And I'm sure that was the intention. Kendrick sent a lot of like smoke signals to the people who are supposed to hear it, and then people who wasn't supposed to see and hear it didn't see and hear it. Not to say there aren't plenty of conservatives who are pissed, and I love it. I love it so much. The insane, deranged takes of conservatives over this show. Chef's kiss, delicious. You know, one of my favorites I saw was that someone was saying that this show was anti-Semitic because Drake. What? Like, what? That's what? Like, people, I love when people just decide, you know, they just want to, they want something to be mad at, and they'll find something to be mad at. Whatever their thing is, that's what they'll be mad at. Let's look at the chat real quick. I know people are interested in hearing me play random covers. I'm probably not going to do that this stream. If you want to hear more of that kind of thing, please come back to some of the jam session streams I do. You'll hear all sorts of music. I do piano streams where I hang out. Subscribe, and I'll do that in the future. Let's see what else people are saying here. Thank you for forgiving me, Ken. I appreciate it. I was waiting for that. I needed to atone for my sins. One of the worst halftime shows in Super Bowl history, according to Kahana. Okay, see, I want to hear more about why you think that. And Kahana does not disappoint. He follows up by saying, Prince set the standard. He don't need 200 people on stage, just him and his guitar in the rain while he sings Purple Rain. I mean, that was almost like cosmic. Like, how can you beat it raining on Super Bowl Sunday while he does Purple Rain? Like, impossible standard to beat. But yeah, and to be clear, like, Prince and Kendrick, though both Geminis, are two very different kind of artists. So, like, I'm not expecting that we get a Prince performance from Kendrick, right? Like, they have entirely different skill sets. Kendrick is a rapper's rapper. He is not a musician in that way. I would say he's a musician, like, no shade. But it's a very different thing, right? You're not expecting that kind of thing. But I also think Kendrick has built his career on having incredibly artful, thoughtful performances all through the years. Has done amazing thing. And this, like, felt kind of mid compared to the other things that he's done, you know? Let's see what else we have in the chat. What are we talking about? Right. You're right. Imagine it was a real Kendrick show and not just a Not Like Us. Right. Like, I feel like he banked too much on Not Like Us being the thing everyone cares about. Like, because of course it's huge, you know, #1 song, got the Grammys, all those things. But like, it was cool how we like teased Not Like Us in the performance. And will he, won't he? I mean, we all knew he was going to do it. But he's like, oh, I might not do it. I'm not supposed to because he's going to sue me. Right. And he did it, so that's fine. But it seems like it was, until I was low-key a little, I won't say bored, but underwhelmed until it got to Not Like Us and then turn the TV off. Then I was like, okay, I was feeling it, and I'm like, turn the TV off, like, but that was like the end of the show. It took that long before it got to anything that was particularly compelling musically to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's see, what else? Yeah, Riley, I really agree with you. It really just felt like an elaborate Not Like Us. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ken wasn't impressed. Felt, let it be. My friend who asked me to play Let It Be here. Let it be, because I ain't playing Let It Be right now, but I'll sing, let it be, let it be. Yeah, he played a lot of the the recent album. That makes sense. Yeah, they're gonna get very rich off of this. That's for sure with this tour. Yeah, the color choices was a big thing that we've been talking about. Let's see. Prince sure did do a great job. He always did. He always does. Shout outs. Yeah, I will agree with Kahana again. Like, I'm like, I don't think I want a track show, right? Like, for the Super Bowl, like, what's the point of doing a track show? Like, pull out all the stops, you know? Get the big band. Bro, you got the space, bro. Bring out the marching band, bro. That's what, see, listen. Oh my God. See, let's do this together, guys. Tell me what you would have wanted to see in this halftime show. Because imagine if, when he did turn the TV off, with the drums, drum line comes out, mustard, that would have gone so hard and amplified the message that I feel like he was trying to make. If he had, look, he could have had the marching band. If you do the overhead view, show Drake's face. They could have marched in the shape of Drake's face, or maybe just marched in the shape of a big A, as in A minor. He could have done so many things that could have blown our mind. And if there was a moment to do it, it was then, right? But he just didn't. He just didn't. So here's what I kind of came away from all of this. Yo, Sarah's in the chat. What's good? And by the way, y'all, I'm here for like 30 minutes. I'll probably pop back on later. I got to do a meeting, but like, glad to see all of y'all. Glad that we can have this conversation. So here's my thing. Because honestly, I'm reassessing who Kendrick is a little bit after this. It made me really think about it because it's kind of like any relationship, you know, when you meet a person, oftentimes it's easy to cement that person in that time period. It's easy to cement that person in how you imagine them when you first met them. And for me, this is Section 80. This is Good Kid, Mad City. This is To Pimp a Butterfly. This is the relationship I had and many of us had with Kendrick, right? And there's a lot of youthful energy. There's a lot of political fight the power energy, right? But new Kendrick, this iteration of Kendrick is like, how do I put this? I mean, he making his money. I think he still cares, but he cares within the confines of providing for his family. You know what I mean? Whatever thing, artistic thing he wants to say. But he, as I said in the beginning of the stream, he said he is not our savior. And he meant that when someone tells you who you are. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do my Maya Angelou. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Right? So Kendrick said, I'm not your savior. I'm not the one who's going to fix everything. I'm not the one who's going to save you. So he's like taking his hands off the wheel, like it's on y'all. He has his own interests and his own intentions. I think he still believes in Black liberation. I still think he wants a better world. But I think it's secondary, maybe even tertiary, whatever comes after tertiary, under his primary goals, which has to do with his artistic ambitions, maybe his financial ambitions, what he is trying to create for himself and his family. I'm not convinced that and I'm not even saying he should be a martyr, but I don't think it's his interest to like stand too far out on the limb. And I could be entirely wrong. I want to say that it's fair to assess that Kendrick is incredibly strategic, and this might just be an example of him knowing when and where to do something. Because if he came out and he did something incredibly radical, kitsch, he's the political, quote unquote, radical artist that they let us have access to. Like he'll color outside the lines, but only to the point that they're comfortable with, right? He always still, at the end of the day, edits out and censors the lyrics that would have been more controversial to say on TV during the Super Bowl. And not just like cuss words, but other phrases that would upset the conservative fan base of the NFL. Let's keep it really real. Oh, something about we're losing the I don't know. People are still coming in the stream. I can't tell what's happening. Let's see. Riley appreciates you. Yeah, if y'all ain't catching me, it really is stuck in a loop. How annoying. Okay, LMR confirms it. Let's see. I'm going to try a thing. Okay, actually, guys, listen. I guess we're having issues. I have a few more minutes. I'll hop back on for a second. Yeah, I get to conclude this conversation. I don't know. Should I just keep talking and y'all look at this weird loop? Okay, it stopped for now. Thank goodness. Okay. All right. So I guess with Kendrick, who he is, and you got to accept people as they are. You know what I'm saying? He's still an amazing artist. I think that he's just in a different place than he once was, and I thank him for the contributions he made at that time. I just don't expect him to go back there, not in the same way. I would like to zoom out. You want me to play some? Sorry. I do apologize. I feel like putting the piano, like sitting by the piano in the stream is like it's a tease, right? Maybe I should have sat somewhere else where it looked like I was just gonna, maybe I should have stood in front of a podium to indicate that we're gonna have a very serious discussion about Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl. Well, okay, listen, guys, if you want music streams, please subscribe. I'll be back probably later tonight, just playing some music and hanging out with you guys. So look forward to that. But in the meantime, while we're here, I just wanted to close by saying this point, which I just think is something that we should all consider. So there's Kendrick as an individual, and then there's where Kendrick stands in the larger schematic of America, art, culture, politics. And I think we should just all think about, I think the important thing I want everyone to be aware of is that, you know, there's a difference between art being radical and art being therapy, right? And therapy is important. We got to get our feelings out, right? We go to protests because of things we're upset about. But if you just protest and yell in front of a building and nothing changes, if you're not leveraging your position as a group that is looking for something to change tangibly, you just go and yell, that's for you. That's for your feelings. That's for you to feel like you're not boiling all the time. And that's important. You need to be able to feel comfortable enough in order to persist in this situation, which is very hard with everything that the Trump administration and Elon Musk is doing, everything that's happening, where people are very scared. They're very panicked, and it's all happening so fast. You gotta let some air out of the pressure valve, you know? But that's different than seeing something and be like, yeah, they're fighting the power. Kendrick is not fighting the power at the Super Bowl. He is the power. He's a part of the power structure. He is giving us the Disney-fied version of radical politics so we feel seen and heard, right? And maybe, hopefully, don't riot. Making especially Black and POC people, possibly even queer people, feel like, oh, okay, there's hope. They're dangling the carrot, and yeah, they're dangling the carrot. And that's fine. I just want us to see it for what it is. And so understand that this is more like therapy, but because you're calmed down doesn't mean you should stop acting. That's all I want to say. And I don't know, it seems like maybe I'm still having some issues with the stream. And I'll come back later and hopefully that'll be resolved. But it seems like we're in a situation where they're trying to alleviate, maybe even squelch some of the possible uprisings that could happen from people who are legitimately, justifiably frustrated about what's happening in political office in the executive branch in the American government. So enjoy the show, enjoy the spectacle, enjoy analyzing and looking at the political elements that they let slip through. Enjoy speculating whether or not the person who, one of the dancers raised a Sudan and Palestinian, like free Sudan, free Palestine flag during the performance, speculate whether that was intentional or not, or if that was them acting of their own free will. Of course, they're going to say it was that dancer and had nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar or the NFL, right? Go ahead, speculate on all that. Enjoy that conversation. Speak to your friends and fam about it, but do not confuse it for actual action. Know that is representative, symbolic. Symbolism can be important, but on its own is not going to change things. Remember when everybody was all excited because they were tearing down the statues of slave owners and stuff? Okay, look where we are now. Did that mean everything was better? No, it did not. I knew it wasn't going to be then, and it sure as hell ain't now. It just was a symbolic victory, but that's different than victory. Okay, so if we want a world where we can be our free selves, we want a world with equality, we want a world with love, we want a world where we're creating music, we want a world where on television programs or anything else, you can be creating some meaningful art, critical art about the world, and not be afraid that you're going to be destroyed by the power structure, right? Like all those things. But that's true victory comes with us staying vigilant, comes from these conversations, comes from us thinking tangibly what we can do to make things better for our neighbors and ourselves, right? For our community. So don't lose sight of that because we had a cool performance. I don't give a fuck how many cool performances are out there from me or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I am planning on doing a lot of performances that are politically motivated. But what matters to me is not only did I do that, but then the money goes towards mutual aid, or it goes to any sort of fundraising group for political causes that I believe in, because real things need to happen in the real world. So just don't fall asleep, right? Stay woke, so to speak, even though they made that a bad word, right? Stay alive, stay awake, and make sure to go out there and do something. And that means just showing kindness to one another. That means showing love to one another. Those things really matter. That can be revolutionary. Showing true love, actual love, is revolutionary. Showing compassion, having real conversations with people you disagree with, that can be revolutionary. And then, of course, there are political actions you can take. There are congressmen you can write to and phone call. There's all sort of things you can do in the real world. And I just want us to make sure that we are both having a good time. My new favorite phrase, and I'm going to leave it here with this, is trash surfing. That's my new favorite thing. It's like, listen, we can acknowledge it's a trashville, but I'm riding that wave, baby. I'm on this surfboard and I'm riding that trash wave. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's still like, let's get rid of the trash, but like also while we're here, we can still ride it out and have a good time. So enjoy your Kendrick Lamar shows and then go and think about what are some actions you could take that could benefit your community. And that's all I wanted to say for now. Thank y'all for hanging out. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be back with more music. This was a conversation, but next time, maybe I'll have it in more of a musical form. Yeah, let's do it. Appreciate y'all so much. Until soon. Peace.